Okay. For this one, I'm gonna run through a full here's an issue all the way to committing. This one's a simple one. I don't see any issue with the LLM cleaning this up, but it's just good to go through this process. So, if we remember, we have the Project Refactor report. I'm gonna have it focus on this one, which is basically just duplicate reading logic. So let's just do it. Let's see, new session. Look at this and make sure it's actually valid by looking through code base and then go clean it up. And it's pretty much that. So as it goes through this, I'll announce certify, but I shouldn't have to do much until it's done. So let's just see. Alright. Apparently I can't find it. Oh, because those are nested in folders. That's why. Alright, so there you go. It found them because they were in different folders now. So, it's basically just looking at the code to figure out what it needs to do with all this stuff. Alright, it found some duplicates, but it partially disagrees with this report. This is why it's good to run these in their own session to verify. So here's our, it's already refactored apparently, even though I haven't touched it at all. So alright, cool. Alright, cool. It started refactoring stuff. Let's see, JSON. I don't care. Just play it. And then auto accept. So looking at this, JSON-L is a file format structure. Looks like it's just adding proper. So this is read last message. So this is basically saying just pull the last bit from it so it can be a little bit more performant. Yeah, that's the gist of it. And now it's removing some stuff. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Now it's importing typical cleanup. It's cleaning up the type, which is good. Let's see. Here it was reading in a basically this is just raw reading. This is it switching to the consolidated reading functionality, so that's good. Same thing here. This is basically a raw read. This is switching to a util. Basically, it's just consolidating all the reads so that it's easier to change if something changes in the future. So yeah, this is looking pretty good. Oh, still I can't find it again. Yeah, I've been seeing these a lot lately. This is weird. I mean, it's the same. Yeah, it would be nice if I could see the error. Actually, while that's running, this is kind of the point of this tool. Let's just take a look. So if I go here, when it did it twice. Oops. Nope. I need to find when it, yeah, there it is, okay. So here was the thing. Oh, I tried to do a partial find in that file. Yeah, this would be really nice if we could see this in console. Anyway, that's why I built the tool. Awesome. Alright, cool. So it looks like it got through all its cleanup. Pretty cut and dry. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, pretty cut and dry. Now it's running through the tests. Tester, if you don't know, they're just double checking the functionality to make sure if you change implementation, the tests still work. Since this is cleanup, it shouldn't technically break any tests, but there's no guarantee. In this case, we shifted stuff around, so we have to mock it. That makes a lot of sense. And then, yeah, it's just fixing the mocks, basically. Technically, mocks, well, it really depends. It depends on the mocks. But anyway, there's several tests. The tests are mocking, but no, okay, cool. Yeah, so it's just switching the mock here. I'm curious how many tokens this is costing. How many? Yeah, we're up to 50k at this point. See if there's any bad outputs. 1,000 tokens. It's just reading code there. 1,000. Yeah, not too bad. I want to see those test ones. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, cool. It's trying it again. Oh, Claude. We love you and we hate you. Oh. Sure. Really wants to do that. Yeah, there it is again. Oh no, that's concerning. Yeah. This might not be as cut and dry as I was hoping. But basically this is a really good example of it's in troubleshooting, looping as it fixes the test. It's running into error, so it's going to pivot, and now it's going to start breaking down. Potentially. Has been successful. Now the tests are breaking still. So while refactoring isn't supposed to break tests, depending on the refactor, it is going to break tests. In this case, this because the tests are using mocks, and this is why you generally don't use mocks, but nothing too shocking just yet. This is running the build checks to make sure its types are correct. If you remember about that any thing I talked about, this is not any. This makes it more stricter, and if it's more stricter and then something tweaks it, that's when the build is going to error like it's doing here. So that's why it's kind of going through and retyping stuff now. And it congratulated itself. Fixed all the errors. Alright, cool. Yeah. Let's see. Oh. Wow. Okay. I don't trust that, so I'm just going to run the test again. Yep. Let's see if it... Yeah, significant duplication. Yeah, so it did recognize it still needs updates. This is the thing I was talking about where if it goes for too long, it kind of just cuts out. I think it's an internal performance thing, but yeah. Anyway, basically our tests are breaking. We can't leave tests breaking, so go fix the rest of the tests and any remaining build errors. So yeah, just that, and I'm already at 45% context window. This is why you have to do one of these per session, because depending on what it runs into, if it has to loop through this constantly, especially if you have tests, yeah, this is when it starts filling up very quickly. But yeah, this is a really good example. Looks like it's mostly with the token calculator, like we see. Oh, yeah, just keep watching it. Still doing it. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's annoying. Do. And then when it starts messing with the numbers, like this. Well, let's see. So 150, 150. Oh, no, it kept the same numbers. If it messes with the numbers while it's refactoring, that might be an indication that it's changing stuff it's not supposed to, or breaking stuff it's not supposed to. But yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Looks like we're just going to pure structure, so that makes sense. And obviously, if you can't recode, this is all just going to blur by. That's fine. We're just asking Claude to clean up stuff for us. We just want cleaner code. Whether we understand it or not, we will find out. But, yep, there's our... There's it using as any. Ugh. That's annoying. Anyway, that's going to be a whole cleanup effort in itself. Yeah, okay. More any. Wonderful. Yeah, at this point it's just trying to get through its tasks. And this is why it started pulling as any. I could stop it, but I already have a lot of as any in there already. And that just needs to be a dedicated cleanup effort, so it's fine for now. Yeah, there's getting rid of the old mock, so it's good. Oh, looks like it finished. Sweet. So there's our test passing. Now it's going to run the full test, which is good. It's a good process. And now it's checking the build itself to see if it did any type errors. Now it's pulling lint, even though I didn't say to do lint, because generally you do lint too, but yeah, that's fine. Cool. Cool. And we're just waiting for it to... There we go. And there's our final output. Again, I don't trust it. Let me just make sure. Yep. Test pass. Build should pass because it used any. So yeah, cool. All right, cool. So it cleaned up, refactored. It didn't break any tests. It didn't fix. Now, if I look, actually, I'm not going to look at the code. I'm going to do this. Based on the files and the things you cleaned up, what parts in the program, let's see, I basically need to manually check things just as a sanity check. So let's see, what parts in the program do I need to manually test to make sure sure nothing broke. So that if you can't read code, if you don't know what's changing, if you can't correlate what this file is to what your program is, this is a way you can get around that. Basically, you're asking Claude you're asking it to correlate what you can understand, which is probably your program. And this is a way to get around that. So let's see, based off the refactoring. Okay, so it's looking at its changes, and now it's going to give me. There we go. All right, let's see. Files affected. Okay, so in this case, it gave me the actual. Since it's a terminal program, this isn't completely correct, but it's close enough. Basically, it's telling me to retest the status line, which is this thing right here, and then let's see, telling me to run TokenNerd. I'm not going to read through all this. I basically know what to touch. So my status thing still looks good. I'm going to go into my program though, and let me just do a quick sanity check. Clear. So TokenNerd. This is the session it's actually in, so why don't we just go look at that. Can I paginate? Yep, so it basically cleaned up file reading, which is that JSON-L stuff. So if it can load contents, it means it's able to load the stuff it cleaned up. Same with this thing. This thing reads the file to then parse the data, so 87,644. 87,644, just correlating that it's pulling the same thing. And then if I just go look, yeah, that's the detail view. I guess I'll just test sorting. So here's our sorting. This is the biggest thing. Oof. 3K to edits. What did that? Oof. Alright, I'm gonna have to look at that later. Oof, yeah. So this was basically it. Doing batch modifies on that test after develop mocking, I'm going to expect. But this is exactly why the context grew. Yeah, it's good at cleaning this up, but yeah. Okay, cool. I'd probably do a bit more testing, but I'm not going to bore y'all. But that's the gist. So you clean up one of these things, and then you sanity check or you manually check it because it could have broke something else. If you don't know your code, ask it what you can test. If you don't understand what it gave you here, you can ask it further to explain to you how to test it further, blah, 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 blah. It's an LLM. So yeah, that's the gist. That looks all good. I'm going to get rid of that one, and then, yes, I will. So what I will do as a coder, I'll probably look through this code a bit more now that I care about clean code, but otherwise I will commit this and then move on to the next one, so that if we do one by one and we ensure that everything works with every single one, we will slowly march to a very clean or vaguely clean state, and we will be less garbage code, which is kind of the point. So hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for watching.